So fellas, this week we have the inverted Spire as the Grandmaster Nightfall. I know some of you don't care. And why should you? The Hung Jury and its adept form is back again already. Because for some unknown reason, the loot rotation inside of Destiny 2's Nightfall system got reset last week. It was supposed to be the sniper rifle, but then it started over as the fusion rifle, and now it's back to being the scout rifle again. Now I find this very odd. Odd because, well, what the hell caused it to reset? But odd because this seems to be a problem Bungie has no fix to, which kind of baffles me because it seems like an easy fix. Regardless, this is just a Nightfall guide. My opinions are irrelevant. So let's start with what the hell you need to be using in this week's Nightfall. Now I got a lot of backlash last week in our guide and the week before and the week before that one about how every guide I put out is promoting Stasis Warlock gameplay. I think I told you from the very get, guys, I am a meta whore, but especially inside of PvE. I can't help it. I see the meta inside of PvE and that's all I'm gonna use. And Stasis turrets have been absolutely destroying Nightfalls all season. Although I will say this week's Nightfall is a little different. The enemies are a little more spread out, and outside of a few key rooms, for the most part, I found placing Stasis turrets to just be awkward. Which suddenly midstream today, I found myself in an identity crisis as the dress no longer feels the best. Which is like an identity crisis within an identity crisis, right? However, a couple exotics that I want you to look at this week before we get into subclass energy is, of course, Aeon Gauntlets. I don't care what class you use it on. Hunter, Titan, Warlock, doesn't really matter. These gauntlets, though, are absolutely meta for your teammates as they produce heavy and special ammo on finishes against champions when rocking the mod Sect of Insight. This isn't necessarily like an overly difficult Nightfall, but for some unknown reason, you just burn through a lot of ammo. So I actually found that Bombad and Les both were needing ammo. Now, you probably see me on the Hunter class. I actually really like this class for getting finishes off. I feel like Hunters are exceptional finishers. Maybe it's because you're a little more flexible, a little more nimble. That extra agility allows you to slide right in and out much more effectively than the other classes. However, despite the agility of a Hunter, I do suggest rocking Reactive Pulse, which is a charge with light mod that allows you to gain an overshield while performing your finisher. You need protection, fellas. As good as that finish may be, dying mid-finish is a hell of a way to go. Having an overshield, though, can keep you safe and save you a hell of a lot on alimony. And normally what I found myself doing, even when I would go in for a finish, one of my teammates who intentionally do this will try to kill the unstoppable champion as I'm going for the finish, in hopes that the explosion will kill me. Believe me, if I could find a new fire team, I would. Now, the champions you're going to be dealing with this week are both unstoppable champions and barrier champions. I do suggest rocking a scout rifle, as a lot of the engagements are far range. Anarchy is still good. I know there's a lot of people that still think Anarchy got nerfed last week. It did not. That is a sandbox far, far from now. Anarchy is still meta. Enjoy it while you can, because I really think Anarchy is literally about to be nerfed into oblivion. So now is the time to be a meta whore. Anarchy, scout rifles, and oh yes, shields, arc shields, void shields, and solar shields. So try to kiss the rainbow this week, guys. Moving on, I am rocking Silence and Squall because a lot of you are hunters, and I thought, why not? And actually, the super's pretty good. Grim Harvest, Touch of Winter, a Splash of Bonds, Whisper of Durance, or Durance, Whisper of Refraction, as well as Whisper of Rhyme. Now, a couple things here that I was actually dabbling with. If you notice here at the top, we're rocking Double Dynamo. This actually reduces super cooldown when using your class ability near enemies. Now, we're doubling up because they do stack, but if you notice, I'm really trying to push everything to give me a super as quickly as possible. And I'm also taking advantage of Glacial Inheritance, which allows me to get more of my super energy back with every defeated target with my Stasis super. Now, I'm being cute with my loadout, but to be honest with you, this is definitely not the most optimal thing to do, but you guys wanted something other than what we've been rocking, which put a lot of pressure on Bombad. Bombad had to pretty much rock everything that I wasn't rocking. That means someone on your fire team is gonna have to work much harder than yourself with mods like Breach and Clear, Unstoppable rounds, Anti-Barrier rounds, and something I don't normally suggest in other Nightfalls, however I do suggest it here, is 3 of you rocking Anti-Barrier rounds. But there's a lot of barrier champions, okay? You wanna make this go faster? Contribute, be a teammate, and rock them Anti-Barrier rounds with a good scout rifle. I got this Eternal Blazon, actually one of my favorites. Now, Bombad was of course still rocking Stasis turrets because he too is also a meta whore. Les was trying to be cute with me, rocking Chaos Reach. Again though, you don't have to rock any of these things. If you still want to rock Ursa Furiosa, Well of Radiance, and you want to sit in the safety of light, go right ahead. But I like Stasis. And I know Chaos Reach is light, but not really. Have you seen it kill people through walls? That's got darkness written all over it. Regardless, Chaos Reach is actually really good for this Nightfall because yes, there's a lot of enemies spread out, and just one Stasis turret is enough. As far as my other suggestions for your build, mod-wise, rock a Sniper Damage Resist, as it's supposed to reduce the incoming damage from combatants that are at long range. Will it save you? No, not really. I mean, maybe it saves you, but for the most part, no. You'll still die, but it may make you feel better. That in combination with arc resist, as modular algorithm increases both incoming arc and environmental damage. Arc resist will barely keep you alive, but for the most part, no, it won't keep you alive. You'll still die. This is Grandmaster, man. You're capped at 1335. You are capped at 1335. I say again, you are capped at 1335. I only mention this because a lot of people keep joining the stream going, hey, shouldn't this Nightfall be getting easier? I'm 1340. Negative. That's not how this works. Now, some problem areas in the Nightfalls everywhere. Here, everywhere. Let me just say this. Some areas that may save your life. When standing in this first room right here, you have a number of champions below you, as well as a number of red bar scions spread throughout. Of course, deal with the scions first. But when you start to deal with the champions, you can handle them one of two ways. You can do what Bombat and Les were doing, which is stand back and watch me die. Or you can move up like you got a pair and engage the enemy like the guardian that you're supposed to be. Now, granted, not everyone's gonna do that. So yeah, take your time here if you want, if you like to spend forever in this room. But I would suggest using those supers, especially my Chaos Reach Geomag user. It's the whole reason why you even rock that loadout. Treat it like trials. Use that super. Now, you got an unstoppable champion up there and a couple barrier champions in the back. You also have an unstoppable champion down below and 2 barrier champions down below as well. Although I do believe in being aggressive with the enemy, do not push that bottom area. Shit can turn fast. Deal with the unstoppable champion and barrier champion from above, and then move on. You'll have a barrier champion, couple Axie boys, number of red ads, and of course, an unstoppable champion and 2 barrier champions out there. Work as a team. Honestly, what's so good about this entire Nightfall is despite everything wanting to kill you, they also want to kill each other. So if you see Cabal and Vex fighting each other and there's like 1 Cabal, 2 Vex, dude, just kill the Vex. Kill one of the Vex at least first, as these enemies will keep each other entertained, and that's pretty much the theme throughout. Vex and Cabal equally hate each other here, so use that to your advantage. Now, this open area right here includes 2 of those fire-based Delphis. Y'all remember that PvP map? I know you haven't seen a new one in forever, but you got these little bases with a couple yellow bars in there and a number of hats. Use your supers, use your turrets, drop a couple anarchy shots, whatever you want to use. My only suggestion is just don't blow your load completely in both of those fortifications, because outside is a number of hats, and you may want to use one of your supers, preferably the Chaos Reach, to clear out all those hats. And of course, you got a barrier champion out there that likes to snipe you, so be prepared. Now, out of everything in this Nightfall, this part right here is the area that can turn on you the fastest. And no, I'm not talking about down into the rig area. I'm talking about literally when you hop up. You see, what happens in this spot is you and your teammates all go up at the same time, and you all kind of run into each other. The problem is you got a whole posse of Cabal waiting on you, and they will instantly shred you the moment you come up this chute. This is where the power of darkness is actually really useful. Pop a Revenant super if you want. Use anything, actually. A grenade, Shadebinder. Just know that this part right here is definitely not an area you want to suddenly get conservative with, as you can instantly find yourself going to orbit. So use something here. I don't care what it is. Now, this next part actually almost resulted in my fire team disbanding today. You see, there's a rig down there, and you interact with it, which would actually start the cycle of capturing it. Now, you can go down there and repel the attackers, like the nasty guardian you were meant to be. Or you can sit up top, completely safe from everything. And after repelling the attackers goes to the full 100%, and the transit system is completely reset, the ads here, after a few seconds, will despawn. However, I do suggest, in order to get platinum, throw down a stasis turret or do some damage up top, damage the champions. When they despawn, it'll still count as a kill. Now, you don't have to do it this way. Honestly, this area is completely manageable, although there was a few times we got completely destroyed. You can still drop down though, and if you got the right loadouts, you can do as the game says, which is repel the attackers. My suggestion is just send the weakest link down there. Have him interact with the rig. Just tell him to jump down, interact with the interface, and that you'll pull him up when he's done. Now, these next few areas can be kind of a slow, drawn-out process, but again, use your supers. I think that's pretty much the theme of every Nightfall. Use your supers. I find that the boss is pretty squishy on this Nightfall, so don't worry about saving every super you got for the boss. Use it right here in these moments. Lock these enemies in place with your stasis supers, clean them up with chaos reaches, and this area right here, which is actually the rotating drill area, really takes your bob and weave skills to another level. We've only been bobbing and weaving around this Nightfall now for years. Again, this Nightfall's been around since the beta, and even now, this drill rig still kills me. The main thing to not forget about in any Grandmaster is understand not only can the champions instantly kill you, but so can trash ads. So in those moments that you think you can push up effectively, don't. Turn around and make sure a dog isn't sneaking your ass, because they will do so effectively and instantly kill you. They're the quietest dogs. Like if we had a no radar game mode with just these dogs in it as our enemy, we would never win. Now the boss itself, there's 3 phases that allows you to do damage. The first phase, literally just place some anarchy shots on him and do nothing else but survive. The second phase, the boss likes to get a little little cute. Turns the floor to lava. Turns out there's these little silver plates here that you can stand on and not get burnt. 2021, I'm just now finding this out. The problem with standing on these plates is, of course, you're completely exposed to the boss, so you might just get instantly melted. But at least you can say your feet didn't catch on fire. However, Anarchy deals with these damage phases better than any of them, and the final damage phase will be down below. But again, out of all the Grandmaster Nightfalls, this is by far the squishiest of bosses. So clean them up with whatever you got. And if you've been taking advantage of Aeon Gauntlets, you've got enough heavy ammo for your teammates, which should make for easy cleanup. So guys, that is our Grandmaster guide for those that didn't want to see another Shadebinder build. I do find that this is actually a pretty good guide though, considering that Shadebinder is actually not the most meta thing for this Nightfall. We actually did 3 Shadebinders earlier. Took us like 18 minutes. Probably could have trimmed it off a little more. But realistically, a Chaos Reach, a Revenant, and a single Shadebinder, we whipped this Nightfall in about 15.5 minutes, which is not bad. Some mods to remember though, that you definitely want to continue to bring into this Nightfall is of course Breach and Clear. Hands down meta. Sunring Blast. Not as meta in this Nightfall, but still very nice. And of course, if you're already rocking Breach and Clear, you might as well be taking advantage of Unstoppable Grenade Launcher. That way you can double up here. As far as the best special weapons to use in this Nightfall, Bombad was actually rocking an Initiation Code. I was rocking a sniper rifle. Les was also rocking a sniper rifle. This is a very long range, open Grandmaster Nightfall. So make sure you bring an arsenal of weapons that allows you to combat things at a range. Outside of that, guys, good luck with this Nightfall. Hung Jury is dropping yet again. I know you're super excited. We haven't seen it in like a week. Maybe this is just a sign for us to finally review it. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.